Yeah, if I get that bike, I want it to be a Tron bike.
A Tron motorcycle?
I just like the lights.
Tron motorcycle? Like,
I've seen people make their own.
Did they use the same design in the old movies for the motorcycles they did in the new movie?
No.
Was it different?
Well, yeah. It's the same concept, but just updated.
So they did make it different.
Yeah. Because it was.
So which one do you want?
The newer one. Yeah.
You want the new one?
Yeah. The new one's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Where's your watch? Look up the old Tron bike. It was from the 80s. So, when they of course, Disney's got to redesign and make it look cooler they're supposed to be making another Tron, I thought.
Really?
Yeah, I thought they were making another movie. That's what I had heard. Because they have the Tron ride at Disneyland now. Or Disney World, I should say. And it's a light cycle.
Light cycle.
You found the image? Oh, no, you're searching.
Oh, yeah, I guess that didn't really look like anything.
No, because the graphics, think about the computer they had.
I guess I didn't think about that.
Yeah. And then when you see the new one, you're like, oh, shit, here we go.
I guess it's been a while since I've seen that movie. That does not look like anything. Oh, my God.
It was supposed to be the concept of a bike, but not really a bike,
Let's see. Is this the scene?
Are you watching the 80s one?
I think so.
Actually, I don't think it does that sound. I forgot
what it looked like. I think that looks about right.
Oh, the grid. Yeah, man. It at the time, when I was a kid, I remember just seeing this movie come on TV.
But I feel like there was no. Did they show the actual actors on the light cycle?
Mm-hmm. Watch, they're gonna jump on it. See, it forms around them.
Oh yeah, but they kind of did that real weird, like. And then they're inside, like you can't see them, so you don't see them riding it. No. So they had a total redesign because it was supposed to be like a game. You're in a game, so like. So then you were watching like a video game.
Pretty much. See. And they really went for the talking to each other like they're flying planes or something.
They do show them through the glass a little bit. That was a cool angle.
Yeah. But when it's farther away, it's just a bike, like.
Right. Seems tripping me out now.
It's pretty cool for the time it came out. It was.
This looks really good for what it is.
They remastered it too. They made it look better. Obviously with the HD and everything that has come out now. So it's watchable.
That guy just crashed through a hole in the wall.
He got fucked up. He didn't jive when he's supposed to, man. Yeah.
He did not.
But they did make it look pretty cool. The streak and everything that follows the bike. Like, those were some of the cool effects.
And it's an interesting concept for a game, too. Is like, it's like Snake, but you gotta... And it moves so fast. It moves so fast. Okay, we're going to stop watching Tron. We're just going to sit here all day and watch Tron. We have the spiced rum from last time again, which is okay, because the reason is it was already here.
It was. And
what is a better reason than convenience?
Yeah. Do you got any more mystery bottles?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. That was interesting.
That was a good time.
I like when you're like getting crossed up. You're like, a good time.
It was a good time. Yeah. But no, we just got this. I mean, we got other stuff. It's just that this was already here.
No, it's fine. Yeah. No,
So I figured,
just
like,
thought
let's just drink it.
I thought the game was kind of fun. We don't know what we're gonna get, and we flipped a coin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we had Google flip the coin. I think she liked that. Do you think
she likes doing that kind of thing?
Do you do that a lot? Do you make her flip a lot of coins?
Not usually there, but here on my phone.
Oh, really? Are you always? Do you do this like to yourself? You're like, I don't know which one I should pick.
It's like, okay, we're deciding on something, and it's like, all right, I'll just flip a coin.
I don't know if I should get a meatball sandwich or an Italian sub.
Right. Or it's
Google
like,
flip a coin.
What do you want? Do you want Chinese? You want pizza? You want hamburgers? What do you want? What do you want? It's like, I don't know. Okay, well, I'm going to put them all in a spinner.
Oh, you do that too?
You have a spinner. You can have Google roll a dice or something. Ooh. In different sizes.
So what if we did that with liquor, dude? And then we had to drink whatever it landed on.
You want to play a game like that?
Yeah, let's try that.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what we could play? I actually have Drinko.
Yeah, but I like this spinner game. It's simple.
It's like Plinko, but
yeah,
it's the same thing.
We should do that with Los.
Plinko?
Yeah. It's probably a better multiplayer game, right?
Maybe. Or we could play checkers. I have checkers with shot glasses.
Oh, yeah. I've bought that. I've bought that as a gift. I've never...
never played?
Never played it myself.
I can never find anyone to play with.
I know, right?
We should play it.
We should play it on here.
We should do it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Now that you bring it up.
That'll be a good one.
It's pretty easy. We're going to have to drink them.
I like the drinking part. That can be fine.
And it's not a full shot.
No, you're supposed to do a half shot, and then it's a full shot when you get kinged.
Oh, you take a shot when you get kinged?
You take a shot every time.
Every time you move?
Yeah, if you...
I thought every time you got jumped.
If you got jumped,
then
you have to take that shot of whatever...
Because you're
one got jumped.
Conrad
but
died.
Those are smaller shot glasses. They're probably about this size, actually. Which isn't... This doesn't feel like a full shot glass to me.
No?
I don't think so.
I think it is.
Okay, if it is...
Because if you
the
look
rules say, though, that you're supposed to only fill up half the glass. So you're taking half shots every time you get hit.
I noticed
and
they
then
were
when
smaller.
You get a king, you're supposed to top it off. And so if you jump, if you kill a king, your king dies, you take full shot.
Oh, you mean if your king died? I thought you meant when you get king, though.
No.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like, if I make it to the other side, I got to drink it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
But you should have two somehow. If you get jumped from a king, you have to take two shots, right? Is that what you're saying?
It's equivalent to like one full shot.
Yeah. One.
So oh no. So the only time you drink in the checkers game is if your checker piece, whether it be a regular checker or a king checker, get eliminated.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yes. When you get jumped.
Now, if your regular checker gets eliminated, that shot glass that represents your checker is only half filled. So you're only taking equivalent half a shot.
Ah, okay.
And if you're king, when you get a regular checker to the other side of the board and you get kinged, you're filling up the rest of that glass so that it's now a full shot. That represents a king. And then when that one gets eliminated, you're taking that king, which is a full shot.
So you have a different one then, because I just had the small ones that I gave out. It was a glass board made of glass, and then it had glass.
How big was it?
Glass shots. It was smaller shots.
Like how big was the board though?
It was just the regular size of a board, and it was all glass.
Because my board is probably about like it would encompass this table.
Oh, okay. Like yeah, this wasn't as big.
It's like a larger size of a checkers board.
Yeah, no, this was
when you buy a fancy chessboard set. That's
that's okay. So that one's different. That makes more sense than about you're filling up halfway.
Because yours were like already probably
they were already small shots. Yeah, there was no other fill.
Got it.
Yeah. So I was like, Phil, how would you fill? I'm like, how would you do that? So if you wanted to, in the version I'm thinking, you would just take 2 drinks if you get
I see
killed.
what you mean now.
Yeah. That's what I was like, how are you going to fill it more? Or put a glass on top?
The shot glasses in my game are about this size.
Okay, yeah, you have a bigger board.
Yeah.
I think they had to make it smaller because the one I gave out was a smaller board.
Yeah.
But I've never played the game. Like you said, I've never played the game.
Well, I mean, like, we should, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And we will.
Yeah, we'll do that next time.
Let's just do that then.
That'll be fun.
I'm down.
What are we going to do right now? What do you want to do right now?
Right now?
Well, let's take this shot. We already poured this shot. So no matter what we do next, we're taking this shot.
Cheers.
That went down smoother than the first time. Maybe my body's adjusting. I do still feel the Pepto-Bismol effect.
Definitely feel like maybe I could taste a little bit more of the individual flavors.
Really?
But I want to say the prominent ones are the same as I said last time. Like, I taste vanilla right away.
I don't taste shit, dude.
And I don't know if I taste a lot of the clove, and I taste more of the cinnamon.
Ooh, you know what? Maybe that's what I'm getting. Clove. What the fuck is clove?
Dude, I smoke cloves, but I don't know if it's the same clove.
Probably not.
And that was weird because they would like crackle. And I don't know why I smoked those. I think like somebody had one and they gave it to me and I tried it. And then I thought, hey, maybe this will be my thing. And then I moved on to cigarettes for a bit. And I say that like it's not a big deal, but like maybe it should have been. But I wasn't addicted. I just had a pack of cigarettes and I would smoke with people occasionally.
Yeah, you don't have that kind of addictive.
I wasn't like, I need a cigarette and I'm going to go get one. It was just like, yeah, I'll smoke.
You don't have that thing where you get addicted to cigarettes. Like, I think some people have that like gene where it just like that nicotine hits them. And
sometimes you have an addictive personality. But I would say maybe my addictions are somewhere else.
But I mean, all the additives they put in cigarettes, that's what gets you addicted. All that extra shit.
True. I think also I was taking a medication at the time for, I think it was for like depression and anxiety. And that also happens to be a medication that they give to people to help them wean off nicotine. So that was possible that I did not get addicted because that medicine.
Have you ever tried since?
I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. Like I stopped smoking.
But have you tried one though?
Have I tried a cigarette since?
Yeah. You've been off.
I have, but not out of like smoked a full cigarette. But like, for example, I remember what was it? 2017. Some friends had come back from Mexico and they brought their pack of cigarettes they bought out there and they had like flavors.
Yeah.
So you can get like strawberry or watermelon flavored cigarettes and they're like the Camel Crushes where it's like you crush them and then they have
someone
menthol.
showed me that and I did it. I did it one time.
In Mexico, they have them where you crush them and they give you flavor.
That makes it cool. Like, I don't like cigarettes, but if I'm doing stuff now, I'm making popping sounds and shit, now that's bringing me in.
Yeah, and that's illegal in the US because like that's starting to get into the realm of, well, you're making them more attractive to children who enjoy candy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They had candy cigarettes, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And it would puff out. Remember when
Yes, it was the gum.
Is that not training kids or what?
That's what I thought back in the day. I was like, oh, this is cool. I got my candy cigarettes. Or it was always a joke of like, you're watching a TV show with kids in like high schoolers or elementary school or something like that. And then the cool kid is like seen there with a cigarette in his mouth, but is really just gum.
I want to say that's like a Stewie Family Guy like episode.
Oh, it was in Community. They did it as well. I remember it was Troy and Abed, and Troy was in the bathroom with Britta, a girl character there. She was going in there to like smoke pot, and she had a lighter on her, and he pulled out a tin that he folded open for cigarettes, and he pulled out one of the cigarettes, and he put it in his mouth, and she went to go light it for him. But before she can get up there, he started chewing on it. She's like, what the? And it was bubble gum because he's just a fucking child.
He didn't blow though, huh?
No.
That was the best part of the stupid cigarette gum.
But I think it was funnier that like, they're college students in this show. So they're she goes to like light it, and you're just thinking like, oh shit, Troy's smoking. I didn't know that. And then all of a sudden he just eats it like it was no big fucking deal. Like to her, she was like, what? And he was just like kept going on about what he was upset about.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I like that show.
I gotta watch it.
You never watch Community?
No.
The first couple episodes are probably pretty boring because I don't think they really knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
But
I like the actors.
Once you get through it, like that show, I could not stop watching it. It's just so good.
Yeah, like I like Donald Glover and I like Joel McHale, like Chevy Chase. Like there's a bunch of actors I like in that show, and I always wanted to watch it, but I just never did. It was just one of those, It
was one of those shows that like people liked and they wanted it to be on, but they wouldn't watch it when it was on. And so the network just kept canceling them. They got canceled and renewed like 3 times, I think, where they were just done. And now there's talks about them making a movie after all these years.
They want to do a Workaholics movie.
Workaholics. Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, Workaholics, man. The 3 dudes. Anders. The hell? What's the other guy's names? I can't think of their names right now. But
I can't remember their names either. I know the curly-haired guy.
Yeah, long hair.
Yeah.
And
they were the guys in the Lonely Island, right?
No, you're mixing up.
Oh no! I'm sorry, I'm thinking about someone else, but no, the other dude's name was Adam, right?
Adam Devine. Yeah.
Yes, him and his posse.
Yeah, and then the other, I can't think of the last guy's name.
Look at it.
As soon as you say it, I'm gonna be like, damn it.
Let's see. Cast of Workaholics.
I think they all use their name.
Blake Anderson. And Anders Holm.
Anders, yeah.
Kyle Newachuk. Yeah, they used their first name, but they changed their last name.
Yeah. So they were all just calling each other their names: Adam, Anders, Blake. Yeah,
interesting.
They had it. A deal going to make it, and then the studio backed out at the last minute before they started filming. Right before they started filming, I guess. And then, so they're trying to, what I heard last, they were trying to sell it to Netflix or somebody to buy it so they can get it done. Because they already have the script. They're already ready to go.
What is it streaming on? They're not going to tell me.
On the Workaholics movie?
It's on Paramount Plus, Hulu, and Pluto.
When does it come out?
Oh, no. It's a TV show.
Oh, okay.
7 seasons.
Yeah. Yeah, to catch it on Hulu or Paramount.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, yeah, dude. This is supposed to be part 2 of your academic acting career.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Where did we leave off last time?
It wasn't that long ago. Do you want to let me pull up the podcast and check, dude?
But you can't let them listen to it because then it'll be like a copyright strike on ourselves.
Really?
No.
Yeah, I was like, how's that work, dude?
Do you know how much material we've like said shit?
Yeah, there's no way we could get.
What is this thing?
I don't know. What are you looking at?
Oh, I don't know. Trash. Just fucking trash. I need to know where this screw came from. It's a nice screw I got here. Just playing with the fucking trash in my office. All right.
Yeah, you didn't do part 1, but.
The push to do things.
Yeah.
I need to hold myself accountable. Like, I'm not I start to get scared. What the fuck? Maybe I'm not. That's me? I don't want to listen to that. What do you put that away? Put that away.
You said you knew. You sounded like I was the one that was weirded out by my voice.
It just sounds weird when I'm listening to myself now. It's weirder that I'm hearing myself in the background of the this, you know, in the headphones and shit. Like, I don't want to listen to it. Oh yeah, Flower number 5. I remember that.
Yes.
Killer. You're like, you know, like, dude, that was a stone cold killer, dude.
his teacher gave him lines, and he was like, "Fuck that, I'm doing it," and then he did it and killed it. Okay, see, there you go. Now are you up to date?
You're such a good hype man for third grade Steven. Dude, I can imagine like you just like showing up to that show in third grade and coming home, bringing me home. You should have seen him, guys. He was a killer.
I said Stone Cold Killer, man.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
that's
third grade Steven wasn't fucking around, dude.
No.
What were you thinking back? Do you remember what you were
thinking back then?
Can you remember any little thought from back in the days? Like, were you ever like nervous doing something? You remember asking to have the paper and getting shot down. So that's a pretty deep.
I guess I do remember certain things like that. I remember. Oh, you know what?
Oh, here it is.
I totally remember why we started talking about this shit in the first place.
What?
I think we were talking. No. No, maybe not. Maybe I don't know. I don't fucking know. Were we talking about embarrassing moments or something?
No, we were talking about high school. And then I was talking about being in the football team, and then you were like, "Yeah, I lettered in theater," and I was like,
"Yeah, I
what?
have a letters jacket right there."
Yeah, I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I haven't put it away yet.
I didn't know it was that deep, and you're like, "Yeah, man." And then we just went through a whole rabbit hole of you fixing the school, and yeah, you're like, "Yeah, nobody knew how to do it, and I figured it out."
That's right. I did the audio.
Because I was asking you, how did you figure that out? And then...
All right. I guess I can go into more detail about those different hats that I've done and my many talents.
Oh, yeah. I kept asking you, why did you want to sew? You never got to the bottom of that.
Right. Well, we could start there. So one thing I know I tried to say a couple times on the part one was that actually, let me turn this vape on too.
You think it was helping you?
Is it just going to get the memories flowing again?
They're coming back. They're coming.
I need to clear my mind.
They're coming back. They're flowing in now, man.
Yeah. But so when I auditioned for the school plays, on the little application to audition, little form you had to fill out.
Yeah. Which grade?
Like, high school, 9th grade.
Oh, this is already high school. But you were doing stuff in like 5th grade, 6th grade?
In junior high school, I was acting.
So what did you guys...
So do you want me to start like from the beginning?
Yeah, dude. I want you to continue. We were in 3rd grade. You didn't get out of 3rd grade. What happened in 4th grade?
Nothing.
5th grade?
Nothing.
6th grade is junior high.
Talent show. 6th grade still elementary.
And you still got the bug. You're like, I can fucking do this. Oh, we have a talent show? I'm going to kill it. Right.
So I wanted to do the talent show.
Did you have an idea what you were going to do?
Yes, because I had another teacher that had us reading radio show plays. And so I remember we were reading a radio show play, and she was encouraging some of us to go and do it in the talent show. And I was like, I totally want to do that. I read a bunch of the radio show plays. I picked one about some kind of magical painter and his magical paintbrush or some bullshit. And I got some students together, and we were just going to go up and we were just going to read. Like, it wasn't even really acting. It was vocally.
Read what?
Read the script.
Of a play? Did you know which play you're going to do?
It was a radio show play.
Oh, the radio show play, yeah.
And so we went on to there to do that. And I remember getting frustrated with some of the other kids because they weren't taking it as seriously as I was.
Oh, yeah. You were like, no, this is my stage time. Don't fuck this up.
I remember like almost fighting a kid because
oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to sock you in the face.
Like we got into it and he was like just not being responsive to anything I was saying. And so we almost like fought back there waiting to go on for the talent show in this elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, you were just like, why aren't you into this? Like, and then he was
no, it was like direction and stage direction and shit. And I was trying to talk and I just getting frustrated with him. And I just got angry and frustrated.
Did you shove him? You're like, I'm gonna fuck you up right now.
I think I got into his face and was yelling. And then he like shoved me and then we were shoving each other.
Oh, dang. But that's not uncommon in the acting world, right? People do get their flares up, like they got those videos of like Christian Bale yelling at a sound guy and shit. You know,
Bruce Willis apparently is always like that.
Yeah. There's been stories about guys that just flip out on set. Tom Cruise had that famous one that was definitely not staged, but kind of looked like it was staged, where he just went on a whole rant about coronavirus. Remember? He's like, wear your mask. Do you get it? He's like, we're going to get shut down because you don't know how to follow instructions. Just do it. You guys need to follow what the protocol is. And he was just like, dude, it was intense just listening.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but he's an intense guy. So
that was 6th grade.
So wait. No, you didn't do the talent show.
We did the talent show. That was it.
No,
we just read from it.
Oh, but that's it. So you almost got in a fight, and then you guys just like, all right, let's just go read.
Yeah.
And
we didn't win the talent show or anything.
No.
But that was the whole point. Is all we were supposed to do was go up there and go read.
Yeah. But you guys weren't trying to win?
I mean, like, I hoped, but I knew we weren't going to win. Like, someone brought a fucking drum set. Like, you can't tell me the elementary school kids are going to be more excited about that than us reading a fucking...
Yeah, you guys needed to do some kind of act out where you guys were like, you know.
And see, I never done that kind of stuff before, so I didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't know. I
didn't have, like, I mean, yeah, I did the thing in 3rd grade, but I can't remember from 3rd grade to 6th grade. That's such a big age difference.
Yeah, and it had been a while. You've been out of the game for a while. You weren't acting regularly.
Right. And so then we move on to 7th grade. And it's a junior high school, and they have an actual like theater club and little theater. So
you knew right away you're going to join
class as an elective and shit. Yeah. Like you could do that because they treated your junior high school like a high school.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, yeah, I want to take that, but I got put into art.
What? So you didn't even get to do it?
I didn't get to do it.
What?
But I auditioned for the after school stuff when it came time to do it. So I auditioned for the after school things. I remember we did like a musical, and it was called Pompadours and Poodle Skirts. And so it was like set in the 50s, and we had like greaser type, you know, gang of guys. I was one of them. And I was I played a kind of like comic relief bad guy. You know, I think his name was Plotsky. Like that was his last name, so they just called him Plotsky.
Huh.
And we had like little fake pleather jackets that one of the moms like had made.
That's awesome.
And I had red hair in junior high.
You had red hair? Your hair's not even close to red.
I know.
What the hell happened?
I dyed it. I dyed it red.
Oh, you dyed it red.
Scarlet red with Liberty spikes and shit.
Well, I thought you meant I used to have red hair. Now I don't.
No, 7th grade. That's what I did. I like dyed it red.
The whole thing, or just
the whole fucking head?
Whoa.
Yes, and I had Liberty spikes. It was scarlet red and Liberty spikes.
You mean just like a mohawk spikes?
No, Liberty spikes all around the whole fucking head, man.
Oh, like
yes. Yes.
Points all around, like
points everywhere.
Like a pinhead.
All around, yes. That was the fucking style.
What? Dude,
you guys had that?
Were you into punk? Like
yeah, I felt like I was.
Yeah, that's a punk haircut, dude.
Yeah, it was like that, except shorter. Look.
It was shorter than that?
Yeah, if you Google Liberty Spikes all the way around, it was like that, but shorter.
Ah, dude, you went for it, man.
Yeah, well, because I used to spike my hair all around, too. Like, that was a thing you did.
I didn't do that.
You didn't do that? That was like a style. Spiked hair all around your head.
How many people were doing this?
Every kid did that. Every kid did that.
But I'm saying at your school.
Definitely a decent amount.
So you just blended in. It wasn't even that big of a deal because there was a bunch.
Like I just like to spike my hair all the way around, and I did for the longest time.
How long did this process take every morning? Because you had to do it every day, right?
Oh, dude, we had so much fucking like the different types of gels and like pasted shit and pomade that we would put in our hairs as a kid,
as mixtures,
just to try to like get our hair to be like, because it wasn't about like, oh yeah, you just spiked it up and it's hair that's up like this guy's got like his hair spiked up. It was like gelled spiked. Okay, you see this person like
it was
that.
Like that. Oh,
But instead of it being so hair-like,
yeah,
it was enough gel that you tried to touch that and it was hard as a fucking rock.
So you guys made
you
it hard.
wanted your hair to be hard as a rock.
Oh.
Yeah, so I would comb it through and I'd do it with my hands and then it would harden like that.
Then you would make spikes.
So then what you would do is like I would put all the gel in and I would start pulling hairs and clumps.
Yeah.
And that's how I would start to get the spikes all around like this guy.
That's a whole fucking process, dude.
Except things were red. And then there was a company that made the
is that the dude from Blink-182?
I don't know, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's the kind of music I listen to.
Yeah.
Like, so that's the kind of like hairstyle that I wanted. And then I would put my head red like that because the guy from Linkin Park.
Oh, okay. Chester?
No, it was Mike Shinoda.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Let's see here. Let me see. Like early Linkin Park, they had a hairstyle like that.
Yeah.
You see, Mike Shinoda had red hair, and so I wanted red hair like that. And Chester, he had gel in his head all the way around.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Chester kind of had similar, right? Would that be like a different style?
Yeah, his is a little wavy and stuff, you know? Like, it's just like, I just threw this through my head.
That picture you found earlier, doesn't it look like him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
So that's a style, man. A lot of kids did it like that. So that was my style. I had the hair. It was red. And I remember like, oh, I'm going to be in the show, so I need black hair. And I had like brown hair as a kid, right? And I don't know why. My mom went to the 99-cent store because that's where she loves to shop. And she bought some hair dye. And it was like natural, organic fucking hair dye and shit.
Yeah.
And I remember when she put that paste together, it looked green. And she put it in my hair and it was green.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, this is like a weird, muddy looking green.
Yeah.
And when she washed it all out, though, my hair was now red. I mean, it was not red. It was black. So I dyed my hair black so that I can have pompadour, black hair pompadour, like from the 50s and shit.
Dude, you were going for hairstyles, man.
Yeah. And I made sure like you wanted to dress the right way.
Yeah.
So, they didn't have costume department in junior high school theater.
Yeah.
You had to get your own costume. And that meant your parents had to take you to a thrift store or go talk to like a costume designer, rent a costume from a costume shop type of shit. So as they did. And I was in the club. So the club did like some performances and improv things. And I was just there and I was always hanging out with the other theater kids and I just wasn't in the class. And I think I was sitting down and the theater teacher told me, she was like, why aren't you in the theater class? And I'm like, I couldn't get in. They said it was full and they put me in art.
Yeah.
And like I was drawing in fucking art.
Yeah.
I drew this like portrait of Raditz from Dragon Ball Z. Like
I loved
I was
art.
so proud of it. Yeah, art was cool.
Yeah.
And I was good at the art too. But I digress. The point is that she told me, she was like, tell your dad you want to be in drama club or in the drama class.
Have him call school and everything.
Yes. Yeah. And they will put you in it. And I was like, yeah. So I did. I went and told my mom and she was like, all right, we'll see. And then sure enough, they were like, okay, well, we can't change him. It's like, my son needs to go to that class now. And so they sent me in that class.
Nice.
And so I was in the club. That's where I joined. Those
are like the little moments that your parents do.
Yep. That was the first time I was introduced to the Thespian Society because they had it for high school, which is primarily what they do.
Yeah.
But they have a junior Thespian Society as well. And so that's the one I went to. I started as a junior thespian, which gave me points. So this is
7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So you already knew what you were going for.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
They offered it in the club. I did it. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do that. I want to do that.
Does anybody want to volunteer to do thespian club or something? You're like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. Whatever it was, like I started doing it. So I was acting. We were all acting. There was no stagehands really for junior high school theater. Yeah. There was a little bit, but it wasn't like, everyone helped out.
Yeah.
And there's no props, costume, like the lighting, the sound was always done by one student because or the teacher or the teacher's daughter would come and help. And
did you guys have like a piano player, somebody on the pianos?
Yeah, someone like the music teacher would come and they would help us do it, and they would teach us sing and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. We did all that, and it was great. And I remember once too, they were playing Rockin' Robin, and they were at the beginning of that particular show. They wanted to like get you in the 50s, so they had a little dance numbers with some of the like the cheerleaders would come out or something like that, and they had fake inflatable guitars. And I remember they were playing the song, and I was off stage just goofing around, and I picked up the inflatable guitar and I started going like that with it and pretending to play the guitar all crazy with the music and just dancing to it because I was stupid. And the teacher saw that, and she was like, okay, I want that. So we're going to put that up there. So they said, Steven. And I was like, what? Oh shit, I'm in trouble. Grab that guitar. Come over here.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm going to put you, because the choreography for these cheerleaders is missing something. So we'll get you a different jacket so that your character is not like shown here, but you're going to do what you were doing there with these cheerleaders on stage.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to complain about that.
Yeah.
So that was the first like iteration into theater in 7th grade. So we did a lot of things.
So wait, the performance, how did it go?
Oh, it went great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were up there and you were like, nah.
Yeah. And I had like one of my friend's dads was like really into theater and had like been professionally acting on like, you know, local theater groups and stages and stuff.
Yeah.
So he had mentioned that he really enjoyed my performance as my little Potsky comic relief bad guy character. And we had done a couple things after that too. I remember we did the Telltale Heart, and I felt so bad because one of the students that was supposed to be, or it wasn't Telltale Heart, it was Monkey's Paw.
I don't know these plays.
The Monkey's Paw storyline, where it's like, I found this monkey's paw and it grants you a wish and has like 3 fingers on the paw.
I've heard of a version like this.
And they make a wish, and then the finger goes down.
Yeah. And
he keeps going until there's like 1 wish left, and it's like a horror story.
They kill themselves.
No, it was something even worse, I think. I think like the people's like daughter died or something, and the daughter they wished for it to come back to life, but because the first wish ended up killing the daughter, and they felt so bad, and second wish, they wished for the daughter to come back after they were saying this monkey's paw is a terrible thing. And sure enough, that wish happens and the daughter comes back, but she's a fucking zombie.
Yeah, I was going to say, of course.
And the third wish they do to just like fucking kill her.
The third wish is fucking kill her. Why couldn't they just try and kill her? Then
it was like the resolve of it all after that, you know, like, but
just whatever. Kill her. Use my last wish to kill her.
She was like, no, it wasn't like zombie. It was like zombie, you know,
fast.
Yeah, fast, ferocious, demonic corpse.
Yeah, you got to put that in the wish.
Yeah, well,
you got to say
that was the point of the monkey's paw story. It's like
there's pitfalls, and you don't always get
the monkey's paw is cursed.
Yeah,
it's cursed wish,
and it's also kind of a metaphor for like life. You know, the things you wish for are don't always turn out the way you think they're going to turn out. You know, like. So, you know, it's supposed to be like a humbling thing too, you know, and be careful what you wish for, you know, those kind of like ideas, because, you know, you think you want this, but, you know, it could change the way your life is. I mean, obviously that's like the extreme version is like your daughter is fucking a zombie
demon now.
So you didn't put that in the fucking clause. Yeah. Next time say I wanted her exactly the way she was when she was alive.
Exactly.
Put that into the wish. What was the first wish though? At least it was the first wish worth it?
It's fucking something stupid. Like they wish for money.
Okay, but like, a lot of it though, at least?
Yeah, they wish for like an entire bag, a sack full of gold. I think it was like a sack full of gold. And sure enough, the sack full of gold came, but it like fell out of the sky and they hit the daughter and killed her or some shit like that. Oh my
God. That was directly connected then.
Yes, that was the point. It was directly connected. They like, it was evil fucking cursed monkey paw.
It was cursed. It was like, it'll give you what you want, but you're not going to like it.
No.
Yeah.
And I could be paraphrasing a little bit, but that's pretty much what happened. That's the main.
Yeah.
It's not the metaphor that they wanted you to know from this fucking story, but whatever. I digress. The point was, it was a class project. And remember, my dad put me into the class now.
So were you going to be the monkey paw or what?
So I was the father, which was the main character. But
you were the main guy?
Yes. But the only reason they put me into it, and they said I could go up there with the script in hand if I wanted to. But I memorized everything because it was like that week that they were going to perform it. It was a class performance.
Oh, you only had a week to prepare?
Yes. But the reason they put me in there is because the original person that they were going to cast in it, he could not do his lines. He could not figure it out. And they did that as like a punishment for him or something. And I was going to take over for him completely. Yeah. But then he said he could do it, so he was going to do half the show. Okay? Yeah. He was going to do the first half of the show, and then I was going to do the second half of the show. But he ended up starting the second half of the show.
Yeah.
Like, it was my turn. I was going to go on, and then he went on instead from a different side.
Did you know he was going to do that?
No.
Whoa, he just decided this is what I'm doing.
Yes.
What the fuck?
I know.
Did you go out there and tackle him?
I went from Plotsky, right?
Yeah.
To I was going to be the lead in this next show that the school is doing.
Yeah.
And I had memorized my lines and shit, but no, I did not go out there. And I felt so bad about it too because I was so upset.
Yeah, dude, this guy just backstabbed you. He knew you were going to go out there, and then he just ran out there, right, before you?
Yeah.
You should have just went out there, too, and just stood next to him.
I should have.
You're like, what are we doing here, dude?
I don't believe I did.
Oh, no. Like, when you're a kid, you just freeze. You're like,
But here's what I remember. The controversy that happened afterwards, okay, is that my dad was pissed off.
Well, somebody needs to be upset.
Because he was upset that I was supposed to be there.
You told him.
And I wasn't. Yeah. I mean, he was there.
Yeah. You're like, dude, I was supposed to go up there. And he's like, what the fuck?
I could be missing this. I think I told the story, right? I don't think I went on at all.
That sounds right.
But I know I rehearsed. Now, yeah, I don't think I went on at all. I think what I'm remembering is all the rehearsal that I did. Like, there's dress rehearsal and stuff too.
Yeah, because you were supposed to be the one.
Yeah. I don't think I got to perform in front of my parents, though, and I think that was the sad part. And that's why it was such a big deal.
Yeah. You built it up.
Because sure, they saw the musical one, but it was very small.
What did the teacher do or say or anything? What happened?
Oh, my dad chewed her out, and she was just like so apologetic and stuff.
Did she tell him?
I don't feel bad about what happened, though, because like at the end, and then the kid... This is why, sure, I was bummed, but I don't think I was ever like mad or upset as my dad was.
Yeah.
I didn't find it as like a big deal. I was sad in the moment, but I also was like, you know what? I came into this last minute, and sure, they want to be nice and be like, well, he's part of the class, so he needs to be on stage too. But this kid wanted it as well, and it was his role to begin with. And
wait, why did they take it from him in the first place?
I don't remember. I can't remember because it was so far back that I can't remember.
There was something that happened that prompted the teacher to have you inserted.
Exactly. So,
and then, but was his decision, or did she last minute throw him in?
No, it wasn't her decision. It was his. So he did it.
She had no idea he was doing this.
But I feel like at the time too, I felt like, you know what, if he was able to do it and he did figure out his lines or whatever the issue was or whatnot, I mean, it was his role. Can you imagine like being that young and being like, someone came and took my role That'd be upsetting. Like, I wouldn't want to do that.
I see both sides of it. Obviously, it sucks, but you also can't just be fucking roguing it and like deciding, hey, I know I'm not supposed to be out there, but I'm just fucking doing it. Like,
yeah,
what's
but if anything, I was just the understudy, so I justified it to myself at least.
Yeah.
Well,
but your dad did the right thing. He stood up for you. That's what you needed. You don't have to be so upset about it. Like, you can accept it. But he did his right duty.
Yes.
That was his right to stick up for you. That way you don't have to do it. You know, it's like when people have like aggressive like fucking agents or aggressive like bodyguards and shit. It's because they don't want to be aggressive. They just want the bodyguard to fucking pick somebody up and move them, So, because then you could just chill. You're like, all right, he's going to take care of it, Like, people do that shit. But
yeah. So, think that we might have done like one other thing, or maybe it was just like an improv something, or I can't remember any other show that specific year for 7th grade. Maybe there was a Titanic show, but I don't know if that was 7th or 8th. Regardless, when 7th grade was over, the teacher had encouraged us to check out this theater camp called Camp Bravo.
Like a summer camp?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
My only summer camp experience I had before this was like a YMCA summer camp as a kid, and I did not have a good time.
How many days was that?
It was a week.
Oh, a whole week.
Yeah.
All right, not bad.
And Camp Bravo was a week as well.
Yeah.
And I went to Camp Bravo. My parents actually got the money to do it. Like, money was always tight for us. And this was like in the early 2000s time frame. Definitely the first half of that decade. So I think Camp Bravo was like $600 or $700 for the week.
That was a lot too.
Yeah.
Back then.
Definitely. Way more expensive than the YMCA camp. But my
just
parents
imagine
knew
what it
I
is
really
now,
wanted to go.
Dude. What do you think it is now? It's like
I don't think
15,000. I'm just kidding.
I think I looked it up once and it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, they stopped doing it. You know what? I think they closed down a lot of camps because of like.
I think they're like the pandemic and stuff too.
Yeah, that sucks too, man.
Yeah.
When that shit happens.
But I went to Camp Bravo and I enjoyed Camp Bravo for what it was. It was such a good experience in my life. One of the cool things about Camp Bravo is that it was pretty much like you would go to different sections of the camp every day, like a schedule. Normal camp, you have activities. Well, Camp Bravo, you went and saw the improv teacher and learned improv. And you saw
it's like a boot camp. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
We had a stage combat instructor, and he would do like Tai Chi in the morning.
And stuff and
yeah, exactly.
Rolls.
Front rolls, stepping. And so he did like movement and whatnot. And
there's smoke in the hallway. The alarm may sound.
Oh shit.
It's going to be loud.
That's us.
No. How did we have that happen again?
I don't know.
Can you stop it?
Oh, of course I can stop it.
Okay.
I'm going to go stop it.
All right. We're having the smoke alarm effect. Oh, man.
Smoke alarm silenced in the hallway.
Google's freaking out.
Yeah. I just got to waft it.
That's funny. I don't think we smoked that much. We must have puffed it up.
Oh, yeah. I must have. I'm just going to have to hotbox this rim one day. Okay. So, shit.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
So, Camp Bravo.
Camp boot camp.
Yeah, so I went to Camp Bravo theater camp, and the guy was the movement instructor.
Tires. You guys were running through tires and
well, not tires.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, that was a great time. I met a lot of friends I kept in touch with over like AOL and MSN Messenger and shit like that back in the day. But so the instructor who did the stage combat guy, I remember one of his like on his resume that he was the fighting choreographer for the Ninja Turtle movies in the 90s.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. That always stuck with me. But other than that, other people were cool. There were people who worked in the business and shit. And so that was really nice. And I met a lot of friends, and everybody there like was my type of people. And that was my next like big immersion. I came back from Camp Bravo, 8th grade. That was when we started going to theater competitions.
Huh.
So in 8th grade was the first year that they were taking them to theater competitions. One of the first things we did was Shakespeare.
So wait, hold on. Because I didn't even know this was a thing. Theater competitions, school versus school.
Yes.
Is it actor versus actor? Like on stage?
No.
Okay.
So what you do is you prepare a scene or a monologue. So in this example, this is what happened. We went to a Shakespeare theater competition for middle schoolers.
Yeah.
And we traveled to a different school, and that was hosting it. And a bunch of other schools showed up, and we set up a scene from Romeo and Juliet. And we did the, I think it was like the death scene. No, we didn't just do one scene. We took a bunch of Romeo and Juliet scenes and we combined them into one mini Romeo and Juliet story.
Okay.
And I remember that it was like 4 of us. It was me as Romeo, and then we had Juliet. And then we had other students that were like doing the balcony, and stuff like that. Like they would be the scenery or the props or other random people.
You just use students as props?
Yeah. So we all dressed in black. So we were all in black.
Okay.
So we didn't dress in anything other than that, because we were trying to showcase our acting, not our costumes and shit. And you're not supposed to really dress too much. Like you can bring small amounts of costume or prop, but you're not supposed to go too hard. Yeah.
The focus is not how good it looks. It's the product.
Yes. And so the judges would judge our acting abilities and judge how we did the scene. If it was good enough, did we meet these key points? Like, was it too long? Did we break any of the rules? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, they would pick the winner who had the best scene, and those like top 3 winners or the winner in every category would perform their scene.
How many
in
kids?
Front of the entire thing. How many kids
at this camp?
Well, it's not a camp, but it's like just competition. It's like a festival.
That's right. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Theater festival for theater kids. And let's see.
How many groups?
There was a lot.
12 groups?
I actually have a picture of us from there too.
15 groups?
How many schools were there? There had to have
probably
been.
Like 10. Because once you get over a certain number, it gets out of control.
Yeah, but not every school participates in every category.
Oh, okay. So you could have a lot.
So there was more than 10 for sure. It was like huge Southern California statewide, pretty much. At least for the
20?
Los Angeles area. So
maybe like 20 schools?
I would say probably close to that range.
Yeah, that's a good number. That's going to be a lot of kids in one area. Yeah. Your guys are groups of what? 4? Groups of 4 or 5?
We had a bunch of kids doing different scenes too.
Oh, so yeah, each school has a bunch of kids
doing different categories, different scenes.
Yeah, so you're not going to be in all of the competitions.
Exactly.
Yeah, so now you're getting up into like 50 students or something like that, or 20, 25 students, right. Maybe 30 students. I don't know. Depends how big the school is.
Oh, I could tell you exactly how many students we took. We took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 students.
Okay, 10.
This is a portrait we took.
Probably 10 to 15. That's probably a good number.
Shakespeare Festival 2005 at Sun Valley Middle School. This is us, Townsend Junior High School.
Oh, where are you at? Let me see.
I'm all the way in the far right, I think. My long black hair.
Oh, yeah.
This is 8th grade, so I started growing out my hair.
Dude, you went through a lot of hair changes, man.
Oh, yeah. So I used to just spike it all the way around, and then I got the Liberty spikes, and that was a big thing for me. And then I started doing long hair, and I just started growing hair out. By the time I was in junior high school, man, my hair was like fucking nice and long.
Long hair? Would you tie it up and everything?
Eventually
funny.
I did.
A
But I mean,
ponytail.
you could see like all my friends had long hair. It was kind of like the style to just have unkept hair.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we did the Shakespeare Festival. That was the first festival I went to. We also did a couple of different musicals. There was
So this whole time you're in school, are you making sets? Are you doing the?
There was minimal sets. Like there was a lot of suggestive setting and stuff.
Are you
No,
just
I'm just acting.
okay?
And everybody's helping out with something, you know.
So it didn't.
But it's not like that was my role. My role was the actor.
So it didn't happen until like freshman year when you actually had to pick something to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you picked sewing.
Well, I mean, you wanted the whole thing. No, that's not how I picked sewing. That's a story. We're not there yet, man.
Oh, I don't know where we're at.
Are we trying to do a part 3? Is that what you're saying?
I'm asking questions. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, we're still in junior high.
Yeah, I thought you were in 8th grade.
And then junior high, 8th grade, we also did a bunch of like Shakespeare stuff.
Yeah.
So we had a Shakespeare show every year. There was a musical every year. And I think there was another regular show, like just a normal drama or comedy or something. Like one year we did the Titanic.
Yeah.
And then what I started to notice is that I was starting to get a lot of the lead stuff going in. Like I was the love interest in The Tempest, which was a pretty big role for me.
This all in 8th grade.
In 8th grade.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. 8th grade was a good year for me.
That's when I started taking off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had
Were the plays getting bigger now? Were they like
felt
more,
like it.
more in depth?
Yeah.
You
I
had
remember
longer monologues.
noticing that I started always playing villains a lot.
You just started like being the bad guy.
Not like I was just turning bad, but I kept being casted as
you went
the
dark.
bad guy.
You went dark, man.
And you remember I told you that friend's daddy had come up to me and told me that my performance was good in 7th grade. Well,
the air guitar.
Yeah. Well, not just the air guitar, but the rest of that show, like my real role. But the air guitar was up there. But he had come to me and he had said like how well I did, and he always enjoys seeing me on stage.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it would just be nice if I wasn't always playing a bad guy. And then he was like, why? What's wrong with that? And I was like, nothing. I just feel like, I'm not a bad guy. It's like, no, but you play it well.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Like I hate seeing you on stage. I hated you. You.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Because you made me want to hate you. The words he used was, we love to hate the villains.
Yes.
And if you can make me want to hate you, you're doing a good job.
Yeah, you're doing your job. That's your job.
Yes. And that always stuck with me. So I think like early on, being typecasted as something didn't affect me as much because I kept thinking like, yeah, but I'm doing my job and I'm doing it well and I'm doing whatever is coming at me with 100% of me.
Yeah, because I had this conversation with someone too. I forgot where they're like, I don't like that actor, and I was like, why? I don't like who he is in that one movie when he does that. And I was like, then he did his job. He got you to not like him. So he did exactly what he was supposed to do in the movie. Because also you can't have a good hero unless you have a really bad villain.
That's right.
Yeah. Because then there's no, if he's just good and he just beats the villain, it's like, oh, that was easy for him. It wasn't like a challenge, like when the villain is good, the hero is better, like he has to overcome. So if you don't have a good villain, then your story sucks.
True.
Yeah.
But I think it was also like the believability of it. Like I made him believe in the character. Like it wasn't just this kid's on stage and he's trying to be a bad guy or something. It's like I did it well enough to really make you like see the character and not the actor.
Yeah.
That was the goal.
Yeah,
I think that's what always stuck with me.
When you can forget it's just some kids up there and
right.
You're like, oh yeah, look at what he's going to do next, and you start getting into the story.
You get interested in seeing this, But so that was 8th grade. That's when I started doing the first monologue that literally just stuck with me. Like I've loved this monologue ever since. Because I went to another theater competition.
Yeah.
And I killed it with this one. The first one, our scene, we won an honorable mention. So that was cool. So we actually got a plaque.
So on these state competitions, you guys didn't win anything at any of them? When you won?
So the Shakespeare one, that's what we won. And that was the only...
you didn't finish that.
That was the only award that was won for the school at the time.
So you guys got first place? Like the best one?
No, we got honorable mention.
Oh, just honorable mention. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't get first place at all.
Oh, dude, I was trying to give you the props, man.
I know.
Why don't you change the story?
Because that's not the story, man.
In the future, when you tell the story, you tell everyone that, yeah, man, and I went up there 7th grade and we fucking killed it, man. I brought home the first place for our school. I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that, man.
No,
but that's what would be in a movie.
That was 7th grade. 8th grade, I did another theater competition. That's when I did the Telltale Heart as a monologue, Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay,
and one,
the Nevermore,
was so good. I loved that monologue. No, it was like
that's the Raven, right? Yeah.
It's the one where he like kills the guy and he buries his heart in the floorboards, and then the police show up and he's like entertaining them and whatnot. But he starts like hearing the heart beating in the floorboards, and it's driving him mad in front of the police officers, and he can't take it anymore. So then he starts ripping up the floorboards and says, "Just arrest me, just arrest me. This is what you're looking for, right? This is the guy I murdered." And they're like, "What? We came in for like just to chat with you. We're just having a good time because of the storm. But okay, let's arrest this man."
His guilt couldn't take it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you see that Christian Bale movie where he's Edgar Allan Poe?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
When did
I started watching it.
Is it recent?
Yeah, 2022.
Oh, I gotta check it out then. I think that was on my list.
Yeah, I started watching it and I was like getting into it, but then it was late and I fell asleep.
Right.
But it shows New York in the 1800s and stuff, New York City, and it's like they're on horses and shit, and it's just it looked pretty cool. And then I was kind of getting into it. Obviously, it starts slow. You can imagine this type of movie is going to start really slow. So I think that's what was getting me. But it was interesting. They were examining a body because someone had died. And then Christian Bale's looking at the body with the doctor and he's asking questions, and it's all the lingo, like that accent and everything they had back then. So you're like, oh, I like how, it's interesting.
You get lost in it.
Yeah, I liked it. But yeah, like I said, it was late. I fell asleep. I got to watch it. But yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't win anything in that one.
No, you still not even honorable mention on that one?
No. And I feel like I know why. Like one of the things I got docked in points because I got too cocky with my monologue. Like everyone loved it and I kept getting praise on it. And there was little things people really wanted me to try to fix on it. And I remember that I started to get too cocky with it because this was a way bigger festival.
Yeah.
Okay. Way bigger than Shakespeare.
So they call these things festivals?
Yes.
Okay.
And so
that makes me think of like medieval times. Like there's like people like there's like jousters like
that's
around.
Pretty much what it was. There were games at the festivals. Okay, one of them were theater competitions.
Oh, okay. They did make it
acting
like
competitions.
They did
you would
make
go
it like
into the classrooms and you would only be in front of the judges and other people you were competing against. That was your audience.
Okay. Did they make the stages look like medieval-ish kind of, or no, just stages?
No, it was just stages.
Oh, come on. You're ruining my dream. I'm just kidding.
Sorry. They weren't even stages. You were just in front of a classroom.
I felt like they could build a little platform or something.
You'd think, but no. But I remember I was in the finals with mine, and in the finals there was only like, because you're in brackets pretty much. Like you go to round 1, round 2, and then finals.
Yeah.
And so I made it through round 1. I go to round 2, and so you have different judges who are only seeing round 2 students. And so now you're because everyone was like they're trying to do monologues. So you've got hundreds of students doing monologues, hundreds.
Jeez.
And then you're filtering them out because everyone's got a time slot of where they're going.
Yeah.
And now you're at round 2 students. Some of these festivals, like in the high school ones, they last 2 days, 2 or 3 days. Like you go for, because if you get far enough, then you got to come back the next day and compete.
Jeez.
So I was in the finals.
And they had been telling you little things that they
and then same in the Shakespeare one. Like that's how I felt really good about the festivals, because I know even though I wasn't the best out there or my work wasn't the best out there, it was cool enough that I was able to like see other people's things and see what was the best and feel actually justified in what I was doing, that not only was I making it through the first round, but we made it to the second round. We made it to finals.
Yeah.
You know?
So second round's finals.
No, the third round's finals.
Third round's finals.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys made it to third round.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So I made it to third round in my monologue. We made it to the third round in the Shakespeare one. That's how we got the honorable mention.
After each round, are they giving you notes? So after round 1, do they say, we like this, or you got to do more of this?
No.
Or what about round 2?
No, they don't give you your notes.
Oh, so they don't give you any notes?
No.
The judges.
At the end of it, our teacher knew some of the judges, or you can go, the teacher could go find their students' judging cards afterwards. And so she did give us them.
That's helpful.
At the end.
Yeah.
And this way we were able to like talk about what we did and learn and figure it out. Get our craft better.
Yeah.
And the thing is I know I got too cocky, and so I tried to like draw out like the most biggest climax parts of my monologue to like rework it and whatnot. And I shouldn't have done that, because I should just did what worked
and perfect it better.
Yes.
Yeah.
But instead I was doing something
going too big.
Too big.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not like this was designed as a monologue anyway. It's from a story. Like, so you're turning the book into a monologue without actually rewriting it.
Yeah. Some parts are just going to be bland.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
because they're supposed to be.
I went over time, and I got deducted points for going over time. And I know that, and then they said like it was too long. It felt drawn out.
You're like, I don't want to hear those kind of things. I want you guys to be engaged.
Right.
Yeah.
So, definitely something I learned.
But
tried to figure out.
It's learning lessons. Yeah. You're like, yeah, that was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, it's all stuff you just pick up over time.
So in that one, didn't win, but had a fucking good time, went far.
And you got to see other people performing, like you said.
Oh, yeah.
So you're like, oh, I can do that, or I can do that. You picking out little tools that you see. You're like, yeah, I see what they did right there. That was actually pretty nice. Like you can actually like improve yourself just based on seeing other performances.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then after 8th grade, we just went to do another year at Camp Bravo. The last time I ever went there.
So you went a second time?
Mm-hmm.
Round 2.
Round 2.
Was it more fun the second time because you already knew like the ins and outs?
I think so. I think it was like it was way more exciting.
I did camp, and then I remember going, and then it's usually by the end that's when you feel the most comfortable, by the end, because in the beginning you're like, okay, where we're staying, where are the bathrooms? Oh, this is where the lunchroom is. Like you're just trying to find places in the beginning. So by the second time, you're like, oh, I already know where everything is. This is going to be awesome. Yeah, that takes it a little bit of stress out of the equation, and then you know what is fun when you go. So you're going to do more of that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Or you just feel more comfortable. And
that
plus,
too. Yeah.
The second time I went, I knew people.
Oh, so you knew some of the counselors and stuff.
Well, not just the counselors, but like, yeah, you knew some of the counselors that were once went to Camp Bravo.
Oh, because as soon as they move up, they become counselors, or what?
They could. And
okay. You didn't do that?
I didn't do that, but because I only went the 2 years, because that's all. After that, my mom said, I can't afford that anymore.
She's like, no more.
Yeah. But and I spent my summers doing other stuff in high school.
Yeah. You get
so I did the year Camp Bravo there again. And that was great. And I had a good time and it was fun. High school, coming into high school, I took the year 1 theater class and I took a computer class as my elective. And so as a freshman, I remember auditioning for the school play with my friend from, theater in junior high. And I remember that I'd gotten a role. It was a shitty ass play. It was terrible. It was called like 2 on an Island. And I don't know why high schoolers were performing this play. It was like a 4-hour long play. It was dull. It was about these 2 people living in New York and like always missed encounters.
Okay.
They always like missed each other. And eventually they find each other at the end and they like get together or something. But then maybe they break up. I can't remember. It was stupid. And I played some bohemian artist with like a limp.
Huh.
And it's so stupid.
A bohemian artist.
A bohemian artist with a limp.
That's
and,
a lot going on.
And he was supposed
there.
to like seduce and be like a
Wait, what was your accent?
I didn't have an accent.
Oh, what? You're bohemian with no accent?
I was a bohemian artist with a limp. So I remember I had a goatee. They had taken wool and they used like some glue and they put it on my face. And I had this like goatee. And the main actress girl, I had to kiss her, right?
Yeah.
And so like it was a forceful kiss. I was short. She was way taller than me too.
So wait, is this your first on stage
in
kiss?
high school?
Freshman year?
Yeah.
Dang, you were going in it. So wait, you already knew? Did you already know some of the people, the teachers and stuff from camps or anything? Oh, so you never met any of the high school?
Mm-mm. They did a summer camp at the high school. I did not know that, but because I went to Camp Bravo. So I didn't go to the summer camps at the high school.
That might have been the move, is to go to that camp and then you get in.
Because some of my friends went to the camp, the summer theater camp at the school, and I didn't do it. And so they already knew some of the kids because it's like, oh, you were in theater camp. We just hung out in the summer. I remember you.
This is, dude, what you're explaining right now, I want, because you don't know this. This is exactly how sports works too.
Yes.
Yeah. Like baseball. You're going to camps, you're playing in leagues, coaches, you go to their camps for schools. Like the higher coaches in baseball know the minor league guys or the ones in leagues.
My friend from junior high,
he
was like my rival throughout all of my years of high school and junior high.
You had a rival?
Pretty much. He was one of my best friends, and he was like a rival though.
But you guys competed.
Like we always kind of knew we were competing against like who was going to be the best in our class.
Wait, so this is an unspoken competition?
It was like an unspoken rivalry.
It's so weird, dude.
I went to the Camp Bravo, right? He went to the summer camp there. He schnoozed up to the kids that were already in school, the high schoolers, and to the theater teacher. Yes, he did. And so in our school, you had Theater 1, Theater 2, and Production and Performance. Production and Performance was an audition-only class. You had to audition to be in it. Jeez. And you had to have had like already participated in after-school productions and taken Theater 1 or been in theater already.
Oh,
like
man, you're behind
you couldn't just walk up and be like, yo, I'm going to fucking audition for this shit. And you know what? That guy did. And he was in Production and Performance freshman year.
Oh, because he just did it?
He auditioned for it.
Well, then you can. You just have to have the balls to do it.
I know. So he went to do it. And as he went to into that, he also took Theater 1.
Yeah.
So he was taking Theater 1 and Production and Performance.
He's killing the game early, man.
I know. And so
head start on you.
We went to audition and they had already knew him and we're already thinking about like a role for him to play and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then I came into audition and I thought I did pretty good as far as my audition. Like they were happy about it. They're like, who are you? And like they didn't expect that I already knew so much.
You blindsided them, man.
Yes.
They're like, who's
They were reading
this
my
dude?
resume, I put their Camp Bravo stuff, and they're like, you're from the junior high as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And they had already seen like a couple of students
so
that come through there.
You raised your level right there, dude.
Yes.
They're like, oh, he's from the same school. They know each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I had a couple of roles in that first show. And one of them was that speaking role. And it was a pretty bigger speaking role. I had to do some things like I had to walk around with this martini glass, and I was this creeper who was trying to seduce this girl who was from out of town, moved to New York, trying to make a life. And it's like the 1960s or something.
Okay.
Or the 50s, somewhere around there.
Wait, well, that's a huge difference. Is it 50 or 60?
I don't know. It was one of those.
Because that's a whole other...
I think it was throughout both or something.
I guess we all picture, but I'm sure there was people in suits.
Like, because we followed them in different time points of them living in New York. Like, years would go by and shit like that. Okay. But, like, I was supposed to be seducing this girl who was supposed to be modeling for, like, pictures I was supposed to be taking or some shit. And there was one point where I got real close to her and was like trying to seduce her, and then like just like tried to steal a kiss from her and like kissed her.
Whoa.
Like I just aggressively stole that kiss.
Jeez.
And I remember every night she was so like, ugh, because she always had to pull the wool off of her face.
Oh, that sucks.
Mm-hmm. And everybody hated my character too. So I knew I was doing good.
So wait, but so you're doing this kiss with this girl. You guys had to practice before, right?
Right.
So in the classroom, you guys are just like, and then you're saying
the way
your lines?
that the teacher did it was she took us together and she did this weird thing of like, just stand in front of your partner.
Yeah. Say your lines.
Look at you in the eyes. No, not even say the lines.
Oh, okay.
It was just about like getting comfortable with the kiss.
Okay. This is just making each other comfortable.
Yeah, so that when we did the kiss during rehearsals or on stage or whatnot, that it wouldn't feel like it had any real emotion or anything to it, more so than like it's normal to kiss. Like we get the weird feelings out of it.
Yeah.
You know, instead of like working your way up to like, oh my God, it's a kissing scene. This is the first time we're going to rehearse and kiss.
They don't want you worrying about that part of it.
Get it out of your head. So it's like, she told us stare at a partner's eyes.
How long?
It was a long time.
You guys just stood there.
Yeah. Anybody who had a kissing scene on that show had to do this.
This is an interesting exercise.
Mm-hmm. And so we had to stare at our partner's eyes and reach out and hold your partner's hand.
Yeah.
And then at one point it was, you continue to look at his eyes and then give your partner a big hug.
Yeah. So you guys stared for a moment and then go ahead and go back to staring, holding hands. Okay.
And when you and your partner are ready, you both nod and you'll just kiss each other. And it'll mean nothing.
Oh, okay.
And so we both nodded and we went and kissed each other.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
So she just took the other elements out and just wanted you guys to focus on the physical movements. Right. That's pretty smart. I like how that just holding hands. There's something about like being comfortable with somebody else's like energies and stuff like that. Yeah, that's pretty smart too. This is all must have been acting techniques, right? That she knew. Yeah,
she was really good.
Yeah,
and so. That was the first show. I was a freshman.
But hold on. Even though she said all that stuff, even though she was like, it's just a kiss, you're done. Were you like, whoa, I just kissed a girl? Like in the back of your head?
I don't think so.
No,
because I've kissed a girl before.
Bit? Okay, but I'm just saying, every time you get to do it, it is pretty cool.
And on stage, we did it in junior high, but we didn't do it. We cheated. So instead of like kissing directly on the lips, we would like hold each other's mouth. So it was like Romeo in the kissing scene, right?
You guys go.
She would be on the floor and she would cover my mouth and kiss me.
Oh,
but
one hand?
Cheated. Yeah, one hand cheated to the audience. So it doesn't look like she's kissing.
Okay.
Or it looks like she's kissing, but you don't see the hand.
Oh, okay.
So, this way you didn't have to kiss.
It's kind of weird to make kids be doing that. So it's probably better that way. And then you guys were already practicing, basically, is what you're saying. So
because I kind of already had the mentality that stage kisses are going to happen.
Yeah.
That's like a thing.
Yeah.
If I want to do this, like, just get over it and don't fucking, like, I took it seriously. I was the most serious fucking ninth grader you ever fucking seen, dude. You know, some kids go from like junior high, college to freshman year of high school, and they're like, we're goofing off, and high school is whatever. It's not as bad as they thought it was going to be, or whatnot, or fuck around and then having a good time. But I was serious. I was like, this is my script, bro. Like, back up. Fuck you, math homework. I got to work on this script.
Man, you were all in, man. You had your fucking lunch pail and hard hat, dude. You were going to work, dude. You're like, this is my job, bitches.
I caught the fucking bug, and then I was like, that's what I want to do.
And
these are my people.
Early.
I love doing this.
That was your favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
When it's easy, you're just like, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And it's like all the people I met there were great friends. And it was easier to stick with it because like my friends were doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good time. And so that was ninth grade. We did that. We did some other stuff too. But I remember that at this point, I am sticking around the theater all the time. I'm becoming like good with the theater teacher. Like I'm networking it in. People know they can rely on me to do shit.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what the next couple of plays and stuff I did in that was, but anyway, the next thing that happened was in ninth grade was the theater festivals. Now, I thought the junior high ones were pretty big, going to like a different middle school and stuff. The high school ones were even bigger because the entire state was invited.
Oh.
And they were held at colleges.
You needed that bigger stage. So
we went to like the University of California in Fullerton. We did
UCLA or anything, or
I don't think we did a UCLA. We did UC Long Beach.
UC Long Beach, okay.
Yeah, because they had theater programs, bigger theater programs. So
did you think
Long
about
Beach,
going to any of these schools?
Fullerton. Yes, I did.
Yeah, you were like, I might go here.
Exactly, because. You know,
did you know some people that went there?
I do know some people that went there.
From your theater?
I don't know. It's a whole thing. I guess we'll get to that.
Okay. We can go into detail when we get there. But yeah, I thought that was.
But it was Long Beach, Fullerton, Cal Poly.
What are we at right now?
An hour 20.
All right. Yeah, let's end it there, man. We're getting deep.
Well, I guess we'll just finish ninth grade and then we can pick up at 10th grade.
Okay, what else happened in ninth grade?
Well, so this is a theater competition that we did. So we did I was a freshman and a senior. We're at UC Long Beach. So we're at the Long Beach campus.
Okay.
And competing. And this was like a 2 or 3 day event. And it was so cool to be on these college campuses. You'd have students who were traveling and they would just camp there. Like the whole school would camp out in the courtyards of the campus.
Huh.
And like, you know, we lived in Southern California, so it was easier for us to like take the bus.
Yeah.
The first day. The second day, only people going were the people who made it to the next rounds.
Yeah.
And we would carpool and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was cool because the festivals offered a lot more at this level instead of just waiting for your competition slot. Like there was other events and games and things you could jump into. There were workshops you could do.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like college campuses had fucking food courts that had Taco Bell and Panda Express and shit. And so it was like, oh shit, we're just going to walk over there and get some fucking Taco Bell. Let's do it. And so it felt like there was this more bigger sense of freedom for a ninth grader, you know, going to this so much bigger world, this festival that was going to spend 2 days at.
Yeah.
You know,
and you kind of feel like you're in college too. You're over here like big shot.
And so we prepared for a scene. It was me and then a senior girl. And our scene was a comedic contemporary scene. And the scene was about like 2 old people playing chess or checkers, I think. And they were just reminiscing about old times. And the woman would always bring up something like, the man would be like, "Oh, don't you remember old Johnny Bucktooth?" And she'd be like, "Johnny Bucktooth died 5 years ago." What? She died 5 years ago. What? 5 years ago he died. Oh. Stupid shit like that.
Those were the lines.
Those are like the lines.
Yeah.
I don't know. They probably weren't word for word, but it was a good scene. We had to cut it down because the time slot for this was, I think, like couldn't be more than 5 minutes worth of a scene. So it was a 5-minute contemporary comedic scene category that we were in.
Did you have to come up with your own lines, or you already had the lines?
No, we took a script. Like we found scenes in scene books, and or you take them out of a play or something like that. So
they just let you come up with it.
Yeah, you go and you practice what you're going to take to the competition.
So everyone's doing something different.
Everyone's doing something different.
Yeah.
Shakespeare was a little bit different back then because, like, sure, people were doing different parts of it, but there's only so much Shakespeare that people want to do that, would probably win a competition.
Yeah.
So there was like dozens of Romeo and Juliets.
Yeah. It's a popular one.
Yeah. And so, but in here it was a lot different. You were in there, like, again, when you're performing, it's in a classroom, in this case, college classrooms. And you were performing in front of other people you were competing against.
Yeah. And
you saw their scenes. And you could be in different things. I think the second time I went with the monologue and a scene. But in this particular time, we went and we crushed it.
You knew it too.
Yeah. People loved our scene. We did so well. It was so good. And we won the first award for the school, for the high school at this competition. And it wasn't first place, but it was second place. Yeah. Second place.
Pretty good. Out of a lot of kids, right?
Scene.
Because you guys were at a big old college, so I mean, there must have been a ton of kids there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So that was good. We did really good on that one.
Yeah.
And then.
So what do you get for those? You just get a plaque or something? Or?
No, we got a trophy.
Oh, 2 trophies, one each?
No, one shared trophy for that entire.
For the school. Okay.
Yeah, for the school. I have it.
Oh, why do you have the trophy?
It was crazy. When I was leaving. They gave it to me.
They said, take it?
They said, take it. It's yours. You earned it. It's yours. Take it.
That's probably better because the school ends up getting like ridiculous amount of trophies and they don't know where to put it.
Some shit happened to the school too at the time. So with the teacher leaving and another teacher taking over, like we didn't end up going to theater competitions those later years because of certain things.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So a whole nother drama. Yeah. We got to wait to get in that.
Real bad. Yeah. There's a lot more stuff and a lot more drama happens in theater. And then,
of course,
so, but that was my 9th grade. We did like, let's see. There's one other thing I think I'm missing about 9th grade. Yeah. 9th grade, the musical was Princess and the Pea parody called Once Upon a Mattress. They made this into a movie like a decade ago, I think, as a musical. Pretty interesting. You can go watch it.
Yeah. We
did ours with a twist. Like we wanted the whole set to feel like it was that show, but also, and I don't even think it was a musical. It might have just been the comedy, the spring comedy or something. Yeah, I think it was just a spring comedy. But that show was done like as if it was in the 60s. So it's medieval, but with a 60s flair.
Huh.
So lots of tie-dye shirts and bell-bottom pants and the girls with like mini skirts and no, not mini skirts. What are those like, the 60s girls would wear the spandex type dress skirts things. And also what are the go-go boots? Yeah. So I auditioned for this one, and on the sheet it says, and by this time we're in second semester of school. So one thing that happened was that I auditioned for the production and performance class second semester.
Yeah.
So after computer was done for the first semester, we do our electives again. Second semester electives, instead of taking theater 2, I decided to take production and performance.
Okay.
And so I auditioned for it and I went straight to it and I got in. I did a monologue with like a frog. It was like a frog character or some shit.
Ribbit.
Yeah, I was like I think I was the prince who is a frog, talking about how dreadful it is to be me as a frog or some shit. It was an interesting little monologue.
Did you have to wear a suit, a frog suit or something?
No, I did not, but I felt so embarrassed because I was on like, frog stance and hopping around as a frog and getting distracted by flies and like licking things out of the air and whatnot. But I ripped my pants.
Yeah, you did full squat.
I heard a rip and I thought I ripped my pants and I was so embarrassed and scared, but I kept going.
Yeah.
And it turned out I did not rip my pants. I ripped my underwear. So not as bad, but still like something that happened from squatting like that.
The show must go on.
Mm-hmm. But I got into production and performance. And remember, I had a friend that was already in it.
Yeah,
so
the enemy.
He'd already been in there for a bit. But I also had...
So wait, hold on. Was he jealous when you got that award at the... this was an unspoken competition.
We weren't competing against each other, so it wasn't that he was jealous. I think he was more like happy about it, but I can't remember what he was doing. But whatever he did,
it didn't work.
He would make it far too. Like,
yeah,
he'd make it to the finals and whatnot, but he did not win an award.
Not like
we won the award. I was like, oh my God, we won. And I felt so happy because like there's so many people competing.
Yeah.
So many at this point. So it was big.
And you did already this type of stuff before and you didn't win.
There was enough people competing that for the 8-hour festival or something?
Yeah.
It had to be split into 2 days worth of competition.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, it's a lot, dude.
Yeah. And then we went and saw show afterwards and that too. I remember seeing Sweeney Todd done by the college. And that was the first time I'd seen like a live version of it. And I fell in love. I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I ended up second semester in production performance. Now, you had to audition for everything, or you had to at least say you wanted to be something in every show. That's part of the requirements of production performance.
Yeah.
You have to be in all the extracurricular after school programming and stuff, which wasn't hard because anybody who auditioned for it like wanted to be in there anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, I remember putting down on the paper that, you know, if I was not going to be cast in this show, I would do anything that was available.
Yeah.
And they needed costumers. So they put me on the costuming team.
What did you feel like when they said, hey, we need you for costumes?
I was like, okay, that's weird. There'd never been a male costumer, but they just didn't have enough people who wanted to be costumers.
And you put anything.
Yes.
So they reached out to you first.
And they made me a costumer.
Yeah.
So like the sheet comes up. I didn't get any part, but I'm a costumer.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, well, like, I guess I'm a costumer.
Yeah.
That's weird, but okay, whatever. I wasn't like,
it didn't throw you off that
thinking
much.
I was wanted to be any part of this show anyway. Like it wasn't like going to be that big of a deal for me.
Yeah.
At least I was still part of it, and all my friends were there, and I did some other stuff, and I was acting in the classes and the class productions too. So it wasn't that big of a deal. I was still acting all the time. And like I said, I would do anything as long as I was part of the show.
Yeah.
I wanted to be. So I was a costumer. Now,
was there anybody else?
Yeah, there was other costumers.
How many?
There was like 3 or 4 other costumers, and then there was the head of costuming. So you have another student that was in charge, like costume manager.
Oh, so they showed you the ropes. They're like, this is how you do it.
Yes, but they were also the ones in charge of like planning everything out. Okay. So like they were submitting like designs of what the costumes are going to look like, and you know, talking with the director and stuff like that. Like they were in charge of all that. And the other costumers were like, okay, well, we got all this cast to be measuring, so let's all go measure them. And then we all got to start cutting this and sewing that and finding this and that and doing this type of shopping and whatnot.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of busy work.
Yeah.
As a costumer. So I remember that we did all of these auditions before spring break, and this show was taking place after spring break. And I was told right before spring break, like the day spring break was ending, that the head costumer was no longer going to be part of the production.
Oh.
For whatever reason, they weren't going to be part of the production, or they wanted to step down as head costumer because they felt it was too much pressure for them.
Jeez, they were cracking.
And they asked me to do it.
Yeah.
And I had no fucking costuming experience whatsoever. I'd never touched a sewing machine in my life. And of course, I went and I told them, yeah, I'll do it. So I became head costumer for that show. And I remember my homework for spring break was to design, like I had a blank canvas sheet for every character. And I was supposed to design what they would look like. And so I'm over there with colored pencils in my room, and I'm drawing what I think the costume should look like. And I'm just Googling what bell bottoms are supposed to look like, because I don't fucking know. And it's supposed to be a mix of like medieval meets 60s. And that's what we ended up doing. We ended up making bell bottom pants from scratch. We ended up making tie-dye shirts and stuff. And this is all like happening. I'm learning to sew. I taught myself how to sew. I'm using a sewing machine. I'm sewing things together. One of my best friends, he had a part where he was in a musical number and he had to do the splits. And every fucking time he did the splits, the motherfucker would rip his crotch open. He would rip his crotch open on the pants. And this happened in the dress rehearsal, so I stitch it back up. And then this happened in the first night, the opening night. And so I had to stitch it back up in between his scenes.
Jeez.
So he would come out and he would give me the pants and I would stitch them. Yes. And just because, and I would have to do it, I'd time it when the audience was like laughing or when there was something going on, because I couldn't just be sewing in the back during like silence or anything, right?
Yeah.
Like I had to wait for like claps and stuff, like end of scenes and where everyone would clap when the lights get out. And I remember it was about like because we did 2 weeks worth of shows. We would do, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
And a matinee on Sunday. Oh no, Saturday would just be a matinee in the morning, afternoon time, and then the normal performance later in the day.
Yeah.
So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And that first, by the time we got to Saturday and it happened, during the matinee, I went and I was like, fuck this shit. So I took his pants and I put I just kept stitching. I just kept stitching over and over and over and over and over until the pants seam was more stitched than fabric.
Yeah.
And those pants never fucking ripped again. But I remember it was also awkward for me to be the costumer, because again, I was the first male costumer in the school. And that was a big deal at the time because the dressing rooms, we had male and female dressing rooms.
Yeah.
And the girls would always go in there and make the guys try on things. And as an actor, I had to do that too. I had to undress down to my boxers in front of these girls and get dressed so they can measure me and see how things are fitting and make adjustments and whatnot. And so I needed to do that too. And I needed to sign off on things.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do that. I remember I would be in the girls' dressing room and they'd have to change. And it was like, all right, I'll have to step out. And eventually I had to step out and step back in, step out, step back in, because I had to look at them wearing different garments and everything.
Yeah.
Like we had to try on all these different things. And I couldn't do that if I kept stepping out and stepping in. And eventually we just took the teacher's chair because it's like a spinning office chair.
Yeah.
And I just sat in there and they would just spin me and someone would watch me to make sure I wasn't watching the girl as she changed on the other side of me.
Yeah.
It was so like, those are like the frustrating parts about it.
Yeah.
But I guess it's not too bad. I don't know what I'm complaining about. Anyway, though, after that, I think I did a stint as sound for a different production. Like I learned how to do like spotlights and stuff. Like I volunteered for that. And so I was doing the spotlights and I talked to like another person who had showed me like the soundboard. And so I was trying to get familiar with how that all worked.
Yeah.
Cause like the tech booth was on the opposite side. Like it was behind the audience.
Yeah. Yeah. That's usually where they have it. Right.
And so you weren't allowed in there unless you were part of that crew. And I wanted to check it out and see what it was. And so I got friendly with those people and started going back there a lot more and learning the lights and the sound and how it all worked.
Yeah.
And the only other times I'd been doing that before is when they would bring me up there to get mic'd for lines and whatnot. So that was 9th grade. And we could stop there. I guess we'll have to do a part 3.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, 10th grade, the rest of the high school years, they come with a lot of crazy shit. Lots of drama happens.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's relationships
dun, dun, dun.
that affect things.
Wow.
There's all these other little roles, and then there's like a teacher that goes away, and another teacher comes in, and
Castaway.
And there's like drama with who this new teacher is. There's issues where the theater production is just like hanging on by a string at this school. Like it went from like we're going to festivals and stuff to slowly degrading.
And then you guys
10th grade was the last good year. And then we just start rolling downhill from there.
You guys had that student too, right? That was a werewolf, and then they started acting Teen Wolf.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I'm just kidding. That was part of the Teen Wolf pod. Have you ever seen Teen Wolf?
No.
Yeah, he's a teen. He turns into a wolf, and then
I know the premise.
For some reason, he's acting. He becomes an actor and a basketball player. Well, he was always playing basketball, and he was always acting too. But
wait, isn't that the story of High School Musical?
I don't know. I never saw it. You might be right. I don't know.
Don't you have like 3 girls?
Yeah, I don't watch.
And you've never seen High School Musical?
No, they weren't. They're not into that.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
No, man, they don't care about musicals. I don't really think.
I just assume like
I don't think
they would just be stuck to the Disney Channel or something.
No, there's not a Disney Channel like you think of Disney Channel anymore. Disney Channel is just streaming.
You're right. Because High School Musical is more of our generation's thing. Well, at least my generation's thing.
And everybody was watching cable TV and everything. And
like Crystal likes High School Musical.
It's not really. I mean, there is a Disney Channel and they do have shows, but kids don't really watch TV like we did. They have the option to watch.
They have like on demand.
They can watch whatever they want. Exactly.
They want.
And they don't really stray out that much unless they see a clip somewhere and they're like, oh, I want to watch that. But
yeah,
you know,
like
that's
back in our day, you had to know the date. You had to know which day it was coming on. You had to know the time. And sometimes if you lived in a weird time zone, they would just say, Pacific Central. Or no, they would say Central or Eastern time. They'd be like, tune in on Cartoon Network at 9 Eastern.
Well, a lot of times we just put the channel on and we just were forced to watch whatever was on because we just wanted to watch the channel. So, like whatever MTV was showing, we were just going to watch MTV. You know, like
you'd watch what was on there and you're just watching through the channel.
I'm just waiting for the next show. I know it's going to be this or something,
Yeah, you know the schedule.
Yeah.
You know what's coming on next. Like you're aware.
Yeah. So sometimes
you had the TV guide. And the TV guy would show you, and that's when you had like TiVos and stuff, DVRs.
Those were the sophisticated days. But yeah, a lot of times when you're watching TV, you just throw it on whatever it is, and you're just watching whatever they have on, and
Right.
they know they have your eyes too. You know, they did a little tricky stuff. You know, where they would,
They're tricky.
they would say it's going to start at 7, but then it really didn't start until 7:15, and you were watching like some other stupid show. You know, like I know MTV is really like weird. They did little weird things like that where they were cut shows off at 45.
Right.
You know, but. Anyways,
this was another lively edition of Digital Cortex.
Yeah.
My name's Steven. That's Random Styles. And have a good night.
Later.